The alien shuttle moved through deep space, silent and cold. Inside, Captain Mira Knox sat near the controls, her eyes scanning the stars. Jonas lay strapped to a seat beside her, still weak, still healing. He watched her in silence. "You haven't changed," he finally said. Mira didn't look at him. "I've changed. We all did. After Orion." Flashback. 3 years ago. Planet Orion IV. A battlefield, broken and burning. Explosions lit the sky. Screams echoed from every direction. Mira, in full combat armor, ran through the chaos with her medkit in hand. A dozen soldiers lay wounded around her. One by one, she patched them up, under fire, without backup, without rest. She used a broken drone's battery to restart a soldier's heart. She sewed up an artery with fishing line and glue. And when the enemy charged, she picked up a fallen rifle and fought like hell. People said no one could survive that day. But she walked out with every soldier breathing. They started calling her the Ghost of Orion. Present. Alien shuttle. Jonas looked over at her. "You know they told me you died too." Mira shrugged. "Maybe I did. On the inside." Jonas smiled slightly. "Well, the inside of you still fights harder than anyone I know." Suddenly, the shuttle shook. Mira stood up fast. "Brace yourself." Red lights blinked on the dashboard. A large object appeared on the radar, something massive. Mira narrowed her eyes. That's not an asteroid. Ahead of them was a floating alien war station, orbiting a dead moon. The shuttle was pulled toward it by a magnetic field. "They're jamming us," Mira said. "It's a trap." Jonas gripped the seat. "Then we crashed the party." The shuttle slammed into the hangar bay. Metal groaned. Sparks flew. Mira and Jonas rolled out of the hatch, weapons in hand. They were surrounded by walls covered in alien carvings, symbols, and something else. Mira stepped closer. Her blood ran cold. The walls weren't just art. They were maps of human anatomy. Muscles, nerves, organs. "They're studying us," she whispered. "Not just to destroy, but to copy." Suddenly, a voice echoed across the hangar. "You are stronger than we thought, Mira Knox." Zorak. A large screen lit up. The alien commander's face appeared, calm and cold. "You fought at Orion. You survived Earth's bloodiest war. You healed, killed, and commanded. We were watching." Mira raised her blaster. "Then you should have seen this coming." She fired at the screen. Boom. But it was only a projection. Zorak's voice continued. "You are not a soldier. You are a blueprint." Mira and Jonas ran deeper into the station. Inside, they found pods, dozens, lined along the walls. Inside each, human clones. Mira, Jonas stepped back. "These aren't prisoners. They're copies of us." She walked slowly between the pods, staring at her own face trapped in glass. "They're making super soldiers." Mira found a central console. She pulled a knife from her boot and jammed it into the panel. Sparks flew. "Whatever they're planning ends now." Jonas worked beside her. "I'll trigger a data dump to Earth's deep command." Mira nodded. "Good. They need to see this." Suddenly, alarms. Gas hissed from the vents. Metal doors began to close. "They're sealing us in." Jonas grabbed Mira's arm. "You have to go. I'll finish the upload." She shook her head. "Not a chance. You said you'd get them out. I'm already dead, Mira. Let me do something that matters." Mira hesitated, then placed her hand on his shoulder. "You matter to me." She sprinted toward the exit just as the doors began to shut. With one leap, she rolled under and escaped. Behind her, Jonas smiled and pressed the final command. The entire station's files shot into the stars, beamed toward Earth. Then silence. Mira stole a small scout pod from the launch bay and flew fast. No destination, just escape. But in her chest, something burned. Grief, rage, purpose. She tapped her communicator. "This is Captain Mira Knox. I'm alive. I have alien data proving they're cloning us, and they're using me as the model." She paused. They took the wrong human. Far away, in Earth's military command center, the signal reached. Admirals stared at Mira's face on screen. "She's alive," one whispered. "And she's warning us," said another. "Activate Blackwatch protocol. Prepare for contact." Back in the pod, Mira stared out at the stars. Somewhere out there, Zorak was watching, and she was coming for him. The Galactic Council was furious. Their pride was hurt, their control threatened. For centuries, they ruled with fear and power. But Earth's unexpected strike shattered their calm. Zorak paced in the council chamber, his silver skin gleaming under the harsh lights. "This rebellion will be crushed," he declared. "No more mercy." The council quickly gathered their war fleets, thousands of ships, fighters, bombers, war machines ready to bring Earth to its knees. They chose their first target, Earth's hidden base on the moon. If they destroyed the base, Earth's secret weapons and ships would be lost. Back on Earth, General Carter received the news. "The council is coming," he said, "but they won't find an easy fight." Earth's defenses had changed. Project Echo Fire had grown. The Ghost Fleet was stronger, smarter, and faster. And now, the core controlled the planet's entire defense system. Missiles, lasers, shields, all linked to an AI brain built from Earth's history of war and survival. As the Council's ships approached the moon, silence filled space. The first strike began without warning. Bright beams cut through darkness. Explosions lit the stars. But Earth's Ghost Fleet fought back. Using hit-and-run tactics, they hit the Council ships, then disappeared before retaliation. Captain Alina Reyes led a squadron of ships, moving like shadows. "Stay sharp," she said. "They expect us to run. We'll show them how humans fight." The Council was surprised. No one had expected such a quick, brutal defense from a weak planet. Zorak gritted his teeth. "We must send reinforcements." On the moon's surface, the secret base was ready. Bunkers, tunnels, hidden weapon caches, all prepared for the worst. General Carter watched the radar. "They'll never take this base easily," he said. The battle raged for days. Explosions shook the moon's surface. The Ghost Fleet picked off Council ships one by one. Every human pilot knew this was more than a fight. It was a fight for Earth's future. Back on Earth, people watched the news in silence. No cheering, no celebrations, only hope. In the council chamber, the mood was dark. Some members called for peace talks. But Zorak refused. "Peace is weakness," he said. "This war will end with Earth's destruction." Threx disagreed quietly. "Earth's strength is not just in weapons," he said. "It is in their will to survive." Outside the chamber, a new problem was growing. Some alien species started questioning the Council's actions. They feared Earth's rebellion would inspire others. Back on Earth, the core sent an urgent message. "Council fleet damage. Reinforcements detected. Prepare for full-scale invasion." General Carter made a decision. "We fight, or we fall." End of Part 5 tagline. Vo. The Black Star hung over Earth like a dark storm. Its massive size blocked the sun. Its weapons glowed with deadly power. Inside the warship, Commander Zorak watched the blue planet below. "This will end quickly," he said coldly. "We will crush their spirit and their world." But on Earth, General Carter stood firm. "Earth has faced worse," he said, "and we fight for every inch." The core activated every defense system. Cities went dark to avoid detection. Missile silos woke from silence. Fighters scrambled into the skies. Captain Alina Reyes led the Ghost Fleet once more. Her ships danced through enemy fire. They struck weak points. They vanished before the Council could respond. But the Black Star fired its first shot. A beam of pure energy aimed at Earth's heart. The capital city. Explosions tore the ground apart. Buildings crumbled. People ran for cover. But Earth's true weapon was not just steel and fire. It was hope. Unity. The will to survive. Trelix and other alien allies joined the fight. Their ships swarmed the Council's fleet. The battle was fierce and long. But Earth's strategies, born from centuries of struggle, gave them the edge. Inside the Black Star, alarms screamed. Commander Zorak watched as his ship took damage. "We underestimated them," he growled. The final strike came from Captain Reyes. Her ship fired a pulse that disabled the Black Star's main weapons. With their weapon down, the Council fleet began to retreat. Earth had won the first great battle. But the war was not over. General Carter looked at the stars. "We fought the last war. Now we prepare for the next." The shuttle drifted through space, silent except for the soft hum of the engines. Mira Knox sat alone in the cockpit, staring out at the endless stars. Her team was resting in the back, but she couldn't sleep. Her mind raced with one thought: they're coming. The warning signal on her comm wasn't a mistake. Earth's enemies were gathering forces, stronger and more ruthless than ever before. Suddenly, the screen blinked. A face appeared. A new alien commander, taller and colder than Zorak. "Captain Mira Knox," the voice said. "You destroyed the Warborn station. You delayed our plan, but you cannot stop the future." Mira's fingers tightened on the controls. "I'm ready," she said softly. Back on Earth, Deep Command buzzed with activity. Scientists worked frantically to analyze the stolen alien data. They studied the clumping technology, the neural implants, the genetic modifications. One scientist spoke to the generals. "The aliens are adapting faster than we expected. Their next wave will be unstoppable if we don't act." A general nodded grimly. "Prepare the Blackwatch. Deploy all available forces." In space, Mira's team gathered for a briefing. "We don't know when or where they'll strike," Mira told them. "But when they do, we fight like never before." Jonas's sacrifice weighed heavy on her heart, but his memory fueled her resolve. "We are Earth's shield." Suddenly, alarms blared. The shuttle shook violently. "Ambush!" shouted a soldier. Outside, enemy ships closed in fast, weapons glowing. Mira barked orders. "Defensive formation. Return fire." Blasts lit the darkness as the battle began. Inside the chaos, Mira piloted through enemy fire, dodging missiles and laser beams. Her team fought fiercely, holding the line. But the enemy was relentless. Then a new weapon appeared, a giant alien mech, towering and armed with plasma cannons. Mira's heart raced. "We need to take it down. Now." Unit Echo coordinated, firing EMP grenades to disable the mech systems. Mira took a risky move, flying close to the mech's leg. She fired her plasma rifle directly at the joint. The mech faltered. With a final explosion, the giant machine collapsed. The enemy ships began to retreat. Mira exhaled deeply. "This isn't over," she said. Her eyes burned with determination. Back on Earth, the generals watched the battle reports. One said quietly, "She's more than a soldier. She's a legend." Mira looked at the stars again. Somewhere out there, the next battle waited. And she would be ready. Smoke rose from the control room. Warning lights flashed across the alien ship. Somewhere deep inside, Captain Mira Knox stood in the shadows, holding a stolen alien rifle, her eyes fixed on the monitor. On screen, dozens of humans, still trapped in stasis pods. And one name kept flashing: Jonas Krell, her old war partner. He was alive. Mira's breath slowed. Her mind didn't panic. She did what she always did in war. Planned. Find the security hub. Shut down the pods. "Get out," she whispered to herself. In the alien command deck, Commander Zorak's claws dug into the metal armrest. His eyes narrowed as he watched the footage of Mira. She had taken out 7 guards. destroyed 2 surveillance bots, and vanished into the power core room. "This is not just a soldier," he said. "This is a nightmare." His second-in-command replied nervously, "We should have never brought her here." Zorak growled, "No, we study her, we learn from her, then we break her." Mira moved silently through the halls. Every camera she passed, she blinded. Every weapon she couldn't carry, she booby-trapped. She wasn't just running, she was preparing. She used her combat medic knowledge to turn medical syringes into dart traps. Liquid nitrogen tanks became frost bombs. Even a broken power unit became a shock mine. Mira had one rule. If she couldn't bring her people out alive, she'd make sure the aliens regretted ever touching Earth. She entered a chamber lined with holograms and blinking lights. Alien text scrolled across the air. "Security hub," she said. She pulled the alien helmet she stole earlier and slipped it on. The screen translated alien script into something readable. "UNOCKPPOD controls. Requires DNA access." She cursed under her breath. They needed an alien's biocode, but she had no time. Suddenly, footsteps. Guards. 4 tall aliens entered the room with plasma weapons. "Freeze," one shouted. Mira raised her hands, slowly. Then, in one smooth move, she dropped to her knees, rolled forward, and fired her rifle. 3 bursts. 3 hits. 1 alien lunged. Mira ducked under his swing, spun, and jabbed a metal shard into his neck. He fell. She stood over their bodies, calm, breathing hard. "Wrong species to play with," she muttered. Far above, Zorak stared at the monitor. He clenched his fists. "Send the hunter unit." His assistant hesitated. "But that protocol is reserved for." "Do it." Meanwhile, Mira reached the cryo chambers again. Her eyes locked onto Jonas's pod. She placed her hand on the glass. "I'm here," she whispered. She used a tool to open the seal. The glass hissed, and cold mist spilled out. Jonas's eyes fluttered open. Confused. Weak. "Mira, you're safe now." "Where are we?" "Long story. Short version. You died. Then you didn't. And now we're on an alien ship." Jonas coughed. "Of course we are." She smiled, helping him sit up. "Can you move?" He nodded slowly. "I'll manage." Just then, a loud boom shook the room. The walls trembled. Lights flickered. Mira turned fast, rifle raised. From the hallway, a massive shadow appeared, twice her size. 6 arms, armor like bone. It was the alien hunter unit, Zorak's secret weapon. It growled in a deep, robotic voice. "Target. Human threat. Engage." Mira pushed Jonas behind her. She fired. The bullets bounced off the hunter's armor. "Great," she muttered. "Of course, it's bulletproof." She grabbed 2 plasma grenades from the fallen guards, stuck them to a medical cart, and kicked it toward the hunter. Boom! The explosion filled the room with smoke. Mira and Jonas ran. They dashed through the hallways, sirens blaring behind them. Jonas groaned, still weak. "I hate aliens." Mira laughed as they turned a corner. "You always say that." Suddenly, they slid into a hangar bay. A small alien shuttle sat on the platform. Mira helped Jonas inside. "Can you fly this?" He stared at the controls. "Maybe." "Close enough." Back on the command deck, Zorak watched in silence. "They're trying to escape." "Should we stop them?" asked the officer. Zorak shook his head slowly. A smile curled across his alien face. "No, let them go. I want to see where they run. Let Earth know. We're watching." In the shuttle, Mira looked at Earth's star map on the screen. Then she looked at Jonas. "Don't relax yet," she said. "They're not done with us." He nodded. "So what now?" Mira picked up her rifle. "We fight back. Not for revenge, but for everyone still trapped. The cold stars outside the shuttle were silent witnesses to what was coming. Captain Mira Knox stood before her team in a cramped briefing room aboard the AAD-01. "This is it," she said, her voice steady. "The final battle." They were heading straight into the heart of the alien fleet, a massive warship orbiting a dead star. Inside that ship was the key to everything, the alien cloning core. If it survived, the enemy would rebuild their army. If it fell, Earth might have a chance. Her team was quiet but ready. Each knew what was at stake. Mira thought of Jonas, his sacrifice, his faith in her. She clenched her fists. "We fight not just for Earth, but for every life those monsters want to steal." The shuttle exited hyperspace near the enemy fleet. Hundreds of alien ships surrounded the massive warship like sharks circling prey. Mira's heart pounded. Prepare for assault. This will be the toughest fight of our lives. Lasers lit the void. Explosions rocked the shuttle as enemy fighters swarmed. Mira's squad fought back fiercely. She piloted with skill, weaving through fire and debris. They landed on the warship's surface amid blaring alarms and chaos. Inside, the halls were a nightmare of shadows and flickering lights. The team moved fast. Alien soldiers appeared, charging with energy weapons. Mira fired, her shots precise. The fight was brutal and close. She took a hit but kept going. Deeper inside, the cloning core pulsed with energy. Mira approached it. Suddenly, a chilling voice echoed. "You cannot win, Mira Knox." From the shadows stepped the final clone, a perfect copy of her. The clone smiled cruelly. "You will never destroy us. We are eternal." Mira faced herself, the living shadow. The battle was fierce. Each strike matched, every move mirrored. But Mira fought with something the clone lacked: heart. With a final blast, she destroyed the clone's neural core. She planted explosives on the cloning core. "Time to end this," she said. Alarms screamed. The station began to collapse. Mira's team raced to the extraction point. Explosions shook the ship. They barely made it out as the warship exploded behind them in a massive fireball. Back on the shuttle, Mira looked out at the stars. The enemy was defeated. Earth was safe. For now. She touched the med patch on her wrist, a reminder of the past, a promise for the future. "We are survivors," she whispered, "and we will fight. Again, if we must." The cold metal walls of the alien ship hummed softly. Lights flickered in shades of green and blue. Inside a dark lab room, an unconscious human woman floated in a glass tank filled with thick, glowing fluid. Strange wires ran into her neck, arms, and chest. 3 alien scientists stood nearby, watching her closely. "She looks weak," one of them said in a deep, echoing voice. "Just another human," replied another. "This one won't fight." But they were wrong. Suddenly, the woman's eyes shot open. Sharp, focused, dangerous. She didn't panic. She didn't scream. Her hand moved slowly toward her neck. In one quick motion, snap, she broke off the injection needle stuck to her skin. Her movements were fast and clean, like a machine trained for war. An alarm went off. "She's awake," one alien shouted. "Seal the room." Too late. The woman slammed her fist into the glass. Once. Twice. Crack. The tank shattered. Water spilled onto the floor, and so did she, landing like a soldier ready for action. She pulled off the wires and grabbed a metal tray from the table. An alien guard rushed at her with a weapon. She ducked, smashed the tray across his face, and took his blaster before it hit the ground. Her name was Captain Mira Knox. She wasn't just a human. She was Earth's most dangerous combat medic, trained in every type of warfare and survival. On Earth, they called her the Ghost of Orion, because she always walked out of battlefields that no one else survived. And now, she was loose on an alien ship. Mira moved fast through the metal corridors. barefoot, dripping wet, but focused. Her mind scanned everything like a computer. She didn't know why she was taken, but she knew she had to escape and find out where she was. An alien PA system spoke in a strange language, giving orders. Lights flashed red. Security bots rolled through the hallways. Mira ducked into a supply room and scanned the shelves. Strange tools, liquids, and tech she didn't understand. But that didn't matter. She knew how to use anything. She grabbed a small vial and a sharp tube, mixed them, taped it to a stolen power cell. Instant flash grenade, she whispered. Footsteps outside. 3 guards. She tossed the device under the door. Boom! A bright flash. Screams. She rushed out. 3 guards on the ground, stunned. She didn't stop. She ran down the next hallway and hacked a wall panel using a metal rod and a broken implant from her neck. The screen lit up. Maps, life signs, and alien data. She found the prisoner section. That's when she saw it. Other humans. Dozens, all asleep in chambers, just like she was. Why? She asked aloud. What are they doing to us? Somewhere else on the ship, Commander Zorak watched the footage. Is that a combat unit? He asked, narrowing his yellow eyes. No, sir, said the scientist. She was taken by mistake. A medical personnel. Zorak stared at the screen. Mira was disabling cameras, disabling doors, knocking out guards with surgical precision. This is no medic, he growled. This is a weapon. Mira reached the prisoner bay. Her face softened as she looked at the sleeping humans. Men, women, even children. She pressed her hand to one of the tanks. Inside, a soldier floated. Familiar face. Scar on the left cheek. Jonas, she whispered. Her old war partner. He died in an explosion 3 years ago. Or so she thought. He's alive. She looked around. Every second she stayed here was a risk, but she couldn't leave them. Mira opened a control panel and plugged in a stolen alien device. She began to decode the locks on the tanks. Suddenly, the lights went black. A voice echoed through the room. You are strong, human, but not strong enough. It was Zorak. He activated a security system. The doors slammed shut. Gas began leaking into the room. Mira grabbed her medpack and covered her mouth with cloth. She knew what to do. She'd survived worse. She opened a vent, climbed inside, and crawled through narrow metal tunnels. Just before leaving, she looked back at Jonas in the tank. I'm coming back for you. She dropped into the ship's main core chamber. Huge glowing machines filled the room. Her hand hovered over the control panel. She didn't know what half the buttons did, but one symbol looked familiar. Earth's signal. She smiled. You should have checked your files, she whispered. You took the wrong human. Her finger pressed the button. A hidden Earth beacon activated.